Ryan, it's been about a week and a half now. What was your reaction when you found out about the trade?
Yeah, I mean it was definitely interesting. We were all kind of huddled in the manager's room together, just watching on TV. When it kind of just popped up and everyone kind of went quiet, it was definitely something that we weren't fully expecting, but we're here now and looking to keep going with the Mets.
So had you heard that your name was in talks, or you were literally watching the TV and that was the first you'd heard of it?
Yeah, I mean, I knew it was in talks. Like I said before on some other things, I knew that Justin Verlander had a pretty strong connection with Houston. I knew that there was definitely a possibility there. I figured if that was going to happen that, the Mets may want me in return, and that's how it happened.
And what was your reaction?
I didn't have a whole lot of words. I just kind of sat there to take it all in. Something that not a lot of guys get to experience in their first year of professional baseball, but didn't really know what to think, and I'm glad things are working out the way that they are.
Well, Mets fans, I'm sure, want to get to know who you are as a player as well as off the field, but what would you say your biggest strength is as a player?
Yeah, for me, I mean, I like to go out there and compete. I like to give my best effort and try to help the team win. I feel like a lot of that could be offensive, but at the same time, I want to make the smart plays on defense and just be a complete player overall.
Are there any MLB players that you try to model your game after specifically?
Growing up, I watched a lot of Bryce Harper. So he's a guy, the way he plays the game is kind of what I try to do as well, play aggressive and, always look to help the team win, and I know that he does that very well.
Your first at-bat as a Cyclone, you hit a home run. What was that moment like for you?
It was pretty cool. It was special. Something I had a couple of days off, during the transition and whatnot, so wasn't quite sure how things were going to go. And then, it was nice to kind of settle in and obviously, hit a home run and keep the line moving.
This season you've spent pretty equal time in the outfield and at first base. Do you have a preference?
I don't have a preference personally. Whatever puts me in the lineup, I'm good to go.
You and Drew Gilbert were traded together. Have you had a lot of interactions with him?
Yeah, a decent amount. Last year wasn't as much just because he kind of went down with that injury right when I got called up to Fayetteville. So just through spring training this year and a little bit over the offseason talking to him here and there. But he's a great guy. Everyone says he plays with his hair on fire, and it's definitely true.
Any specific stories that come to mind about that?
I mean, nothing too in particular, but, the guy's willing to put his body on the line, and that was, unfortunately what ended up getting him injured. But, he's always looking to take an extra base, and he's just a super aggressive player overall.
You said people would say that he plays with his hair on fire. What would people say about you?
I try to keep my level head. I try to never get too high, never get too low. I don't want people to know if I'm 4 for 4 or 0 for 4. So just kind of that cold-blood instinct and that mentality for me.